What would you say your biggest growth was from spring practice one all the way to the spring game that you're hoping to take into fall camp?
And that goes all the way back to even my freshman year, kind of transitioning to be able to play an off the ball linebacker. And I think that this spring, coming in with a new defensive schemes and obviously a new defensive coordinator, I felt a lot more confident in myself, my ability, being able to like read behind the ball, see the pullers or the O lineman coming up to me, being able to learn different techniques from Coach Bateman, learn how he works and learn how he's able to teach me and how he understands me as a player better. So I think from day one of spring to now going into fall camp, I feel a lot more confidence. I see that's the biggest thing for me to be able to go out there and make plays and just be more confident and be like a vocal leader, be able to call certain things and like make certain calls that I have to make without kind of second guessing myself. And that goes along with playing next to a guy like Ventrell Miller, who's been doing it for so long now. And I've been able to watch him and play on the field with him and do that each and every day during practice. So it's like now I'm kind of just taking after that and trying to take in as much as I can from him.
Yeah, that's good to hear. So that is something, if you can, maybe a little more detail. And I was going to go into that too. A lot of people don't know or don't remember. You didn't really play linebacker in high school.
Yeah.
This is a new position for you coming into college, and also now on your second staff. Maybe even second different scheme here. I mean, had you even really backpedaled or practiced backpedaling a whole lot in high school at the level that you
Yeah, I
have to
didn't really do
do?
any of that.
Yeah, right. So just talk about
Yeah.
the adjustment of having to learn a completely new position when you were a highly recruited guy, but it was in a way for a different position.
Yeah, so it was good coming in and having Coach Robinson previously. He worked a lot with me, even just like kind of outside, just practice, doing extra work and stuff like that, kind of adjusting to it, kind of picking up my feet and learning how to move and do the different abilities that off the ball linebackers do. And now with spring coming in, Coach Bateman, who's coached guys that are in the NFL and he's been around and he's been a defensive coordinator and understands how and what it takes to be an off the ball linebacker. And he's just been helping me with that each and every day, whether or not it's doing drills after practice. And I think the biggest thing is really just kind of getting in the film room and understanding like what it takes, what you have to look for, your different keys and stuff like that. So
this Gators Breakdown group, they're big into recruiting and talent and what could they be confident in and Coach Napier. And obviously, you're with the coaches every day. I'd love your insight into why should we be confident or shouldn't be, whatever, fair enough, in what the new coaching staff is doing when it comes to acquiring talent. What do you see like on, from your side, from your vantage point? Are they doing things to get the Gators back to the premium spot in college football? What is your level of confidence? Why is it at that level? And what's the message to us that we're not in the meetings? We don't see what's happening every day. What would you tell us from that perspective?
yeah, I'd say definitely with this new coaching staff, they go all out. So when these recruits come on for their visits and their tours and stuff like that, they've been able to see everything. They've been able to get everything, and they'll always make sure that all the coaches are there. So they're able to be introduced to all the coaches, shown where they would be, how they would be put into different schemes. If you ever have a chance to sit down with Coach Tony, the guy is a guru. He's a genius. He knows exactly his plan for this, his plan for that, and how he wants to fit you in here and the different abilities that you have. So the biggest thing is that they want to take your best abilities and be able to showcase that. And so I'd say that with these recruits coming in, I think that's the biggest thing that they like. Because obviously, if you're good at something, that's what you want to be able to like take advantage of it and be able to show that skill on the field. So I've been able to luckily be around a lot of these recruits, a lot of these guys that I've had around. I've been able to host a lot of them and see the way that they do all these things. And I think the biggest thing is this coaching staff is like a family orientated staff. They're all about family. They're all about each other. They're for the players. And I think that's what a lot of these recruits really like the most is that they love that these coaches care about you on and off the field and are do the things to put you in the right place to be successful.
Derek, first, this is Bull Gator. I just wanted to say thank you, not just for tonight, but for all you do for UF. You guys are giving your blood, sweat, and tears out there, and we genuinely appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys for being there for us.
What I want to ask is, what do you see are the biggest differences between the new DC coach Tony and his predecessor, Coach Grantham, both in scheme and as a teacher?
I would say, yeah. So one of the things that I noticed right off the back with Coach Tony that I was really amazed by, and it really kind of took me for something else, is, and he actually builds a lot of relationships with a lot of the players, and I've had one-on-one meetings with him to be able to go over plays and stuff like that and talk about schemes. And I honestly think Coach Tony is one of the smartest guys I've ever met when it comes to knowing your X and O's and stuff like that. So just to kind of be able to hear from him and his experience, and I walk into his office. I'm able to walk into his office at any time of the day, and he's on Zoom with the Chiefs defensive coordinator or all these different NFL teams, getting different schemes from them and talk about them, how they would do based off of this formation or this coverage. So I think he picks out stuff from all these different organizations and figures out what's the best way for us to be able to attack a team. And I think really that's what really I have a lot of confidence in him and the play calling that he's going to take care of for us and where he's going to put us out on the field.
Thank you.
Derek, a little bit on that too. Maybe not to go too football crazy with it. Maybe broad strokes here, but specifically at linebacker, what differences can we see? Is it more attacking, a more attacking style for the linebackers, or I guess if you could explain broad strokes what we expect to see, without giving away too much, of course. But game one, maybe specifically for linebacker play, what differences that we can see from Bateman and Peterson compared to C-Rob and Grantham last year.
Yeah, well, I can't give away too much,
right.
But I feel like our linebackers will be able to make a lot of big-time plays this year and from game one on. Our linebackers will be able to – I feel like that's one thing that we lacked a little bit last year was those plays that you'd see on third down when the linebacker would have a huge tackle for loss or a huge sack and those big hits and those big plays or those opportunities to be able to get back to the quarterback. So I think that this year that's one of going to be our biggest things with our guys and our room and the talent that we have. And just really, I feel like we're getting really confident with our playbook and our coaching staff and how they're going to call things. So I think that's the biggest thing, making sure that you and your players are all on the same page. And I feel like that we are, and I feel like we're just going to be even more confident when it comes time a month from now.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Derek, for being in here. This is more a question about the team, nothing recruiting. Seems all we talk about is recruiting, so I want to hear more about the team. The predictions right now for the national people, they're looking at Florida. They're not too high on us. Picking us to finish fourth in the division. The over under on wins is around like 6.5, 7 wins. Derek, is the players aware of this? Do you guys have a chip on your shoulder right now? The playing the disrespect card is pretty powerful to come out and surprise people. Where are you guys at with that?
Yeah, I'd say definitely we saw that and was actually really shocked. And obviously that's going to put a chip on our shoulder, and that kind of motivates us more to kind of get after it. But at the same time, we looked at it as, we have this new coaching staff. We have these players that we've been working with for a little bit. We have this bond, and that it really just throughout this spring and throughout the summer, we were able just to really gain confidence, I think was the biggest thing in ourselves and in us as a team. So I'd say it would definitely puts a chip on our shoulder and kind of makes us really angry and excited to really get out there and be able to go get after some of these guys. But at the end of the day, we kind of looked at it and we were like, hey, any reporter or any media guy can put out whatever they want, but they can see us in the swamp when we're in Utah game one and from there on out.
Speaking of Utah, Derek, I do have a question. This one I've been kind of waiting on, and I don't expect you to get too personal here, but Mamu Diabate is going to line up at linebacker for Utah game one. Later on in the season, Tyron Hopper is going to line up for Missouri at linebacker. They'll be on the other sideline. Have you talked to those guys since they've left? And what's it going to be like? Mahmoud, of course, a lot closer, about a month away from that game or whatever. But to speak on that dynamic of two guys that you were blood, sweat, and tears with last year now going to be lining up for the other team.
Want more Gators Breakdown? Join Gators Breakdown Plus, starting at $3 a month. Get access to unique episodes, plus a blog, chat room, giveaways, shout-outs, and more. Gators Breakdown Plus is furthering the interaction with fans and listeners like you. Head to GatorsBreakdown.supportingcast.fm to join Gators Breakdown Plus today.